911 words within target range. Here's the finished script. Right now, the Great Attractor is still pulling our entire galaxy, and every galaxy around us toward a point in space we cannot even see, and NASA has no way to stop it. It is happening this second. The Milky Way is moving, not drifting, not orbiting, being dragged at more than 1,000,000 miles an hour towards something hidden behind a wall of dust and stars. And what's on the other side of that wall is the part they're afraid to say out loud. Astronomers first noticed it in the 1970s. Galaxies everywhere were moving strangely, not with the expansion of the universe but sideways, drifting off course as if something massive were reeling them in. They traced the motion back. Every path pointed to the same patch of sky, a region toward the constellation Centaurus, so choked with the gas and stars of our own galaxy that we call it the zone of avoidance, because from Earth, you literally cannot see through it. Behind that curtain sits something with the gravitational pull of 10,000 trillion suns. We gave it a name that sounds almost too honest, the Great Attractor. Here's where it gets strange. When scientists finally found a way to peer through the dust, using X-rays and radio waves instead of light, they found a cluster of galaxies. Big, yes. Impressive, yes. But nowhere near massive enough to explain the pull. The numbers didn't add up. Something with far more mass than anything visible was tugging at the Milky Way, the local group, and tens of thousands of other galaxies spread across hundreds of millions of light years, all being reeled toward the same invisible point, all picking up speed, all with no way to resist it. Whatever was doing the pulling was bigger than anything they had ever mapped, and it was still hiding. So they looked further, and what they found didn't solve the mystery, it made it worse. Behind the Great Attractor, even farther away, sits something called the Shapley supercluster, a wall of thousands of galaxies so massive it may be the true source of the pull, with the Great Attractor just a smaller checkpoint along the way. Caltech researchers ran the numbers. Harvard cosmologists ran their own. Neither team could fully explain why the pull kept extending past where it should stop. The obvious answer, that we'd simply found the source, kept collapsing under new data. Every time astronomers thought they'd reached the bottom of this gravitational well, the well kept going. Deeper, farther, always just past the edge of what their instruments could confirm. This is the part they don't say plainly in the papers. The Milky Way isn't just near this pull. We are inside it. Every measurement of our galaxy's motion through space, the number NASA actually uses for spacecraft trajectories, has to correct for it. It's baked into the math because it is real, constant, and unavoidable. And yet the source remains, in large part, a shape in the dark. But here's the strange part. It shouldn't be possible at all, not at this scale. The universe is supposed to be expanding evenly in every direction, stretching everything apart like dots on an inflating balloon. That's the model. That's what's taught in every classroom. But the Great Attractor doesn't care about the model. It is pulling more than 100,000 galaxies off their expected paths, bending the so-called smooth expansion of the cosmos around one hidden point of mass. Some researchers now believe we aren't looking at a single object at all, but the visible edge of something almost incomprehensibly large, a supercluster of superclusters, a structure so vast it strains the definition of the word structure. And because the zone of avoidance still blocks most of it from direct observation, nobody can say with certainty where it starts, where it ends, or what's truly at its center. We are flying blind toward the most powerful thing in our cosmic neighborhood, and the closest we've come to seeing it is a shadow through a curtain of stars. Think about what that means. Our galaxy isn't sitting still, waiting for us to figure this out. It's already moving, part of a stream of tens of thousands of galaxies being funneled toward a destination none of us chose and none of us can see. Every star in the night sky, every planet, every person who has ever lived carried along for the ride, at over 1,000,000 miles an hour, for reasons scientists still cannot fully explain. If our understanding of cosmic expansion can be bent this far by one hidden mass, it raises an uncomfortable question about how much else out there we haven't accounted for. How many other great attractors are sitting behind other curtains of dust, quietly reshaping the paths of galaxies we haven't even looked at yet? The universe we're taught smooth, even, predictable might just be the version we can see. So the Milky Way keeps falling toward it, slowly, silently, unstoppably. NASA can track the motion. Harvard and Caltech can measure the pull. But nobody, not one institution on Earth, can tell you what's actually waiting for us at the center of that shadow. What happens when we get there? Tell us what you think is hiding behind the zone of avoidance in the comments. Save to home /jarvisadmin/Great Attractor script, txt.